Okay, so we continue the project. We're making a big mess here so far. All right, so remember we were talking about hooking up the Rachio 2. We have the outdoor enclosure, so that's wired and ready to go. But I need to mount that, and so I'm going to mount that outside here near all my equipment. And what I'm going to do is put this board here across these two little beams, kind of make use of that. So I've gone ahead to get a little piece of wood. Basically it's a 2 foot by 1/2 inch by 6 inches. It was perfect, exactly the size I was looking for, and I drilled it in there. Now because it's outside, I also took some precautions and sprayed it with some Thompson water sealant. That way when the sun, the weather hits that wood, it'll last a little bit longer than, you know, one season. So I got that, and now we're going to hook up the outdoor enclosure to that board. I made 3 little markings, started little pilot holes, and that's always good to do some pilot holes, so that way you don't split the wood. All right, so we will do that and then we'll be back. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. It's up there, it's pretty sturdy, doesn't seem like it's going to go anywhere. So all right, so that's there. Now the next bit is the Rachio and the electrical. So I'm trying to make some thoughts here. Basically you'll notice that there's a punch out there for the electrical cables that have to come in from the easy valve. So the thing is, it's got covering, so it's weatherproof, right? But could it need some extra protection here from people tripping and stepping on it and who knows what? So maybe what we can do here, and I'm still kind of thinking this through, these have to come in up here. Well, that's a big hole. I don't want bugs or things climbing through there. So what I'm thinking is something like this, right? PVC pipe, like you normally would have in an irrigation system, because this could come up here like that, and then it just needs to snake down. Now this one isn't long enough, right? We can see that this is definitely not long enough, because if we go I'm not sure what angle to go, but this is a 2 feet pipe, and I bet you we could use a 3 foot, because it's not touching the ground if we put that up. But the idea here is to then snake this wire just up through that, so it gives it a little added protection, maybe keeps some of the bugs out and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, okay, so you know, it's one of those Home Depot runs, right? So what do I need? You got to get about a 3 foot PVC this way, and I'll have to measure it how long, and then I'll have to say where is it going to snake in from and protect it that way. So I need to do some measuring, because you know, think about it, when you wire this, and if you snake it in here and put it here, the only way to get it out is to unplug everything. So once you get it plugged in, you don't want to be messing with it so much. So you got to decide on a place for where these are going to be in position, and then how long of a PVC will need to go up there. So all right, so next task is to measure this a little bit and see what we can do. All right, folks, so we made a little bit more progress. I'm laughing because, you know, these projects take, you know, a while to do as you sit and plan, but I've been working all day here today. Just to give you an idea, I started working at about 9:30 after I got my supplies, and it's almost 6 o'clock now, so we're still working. Now, what have we done? Okay, so we've strung the electrical wire for the valves, and I think I kind of have a location here for them, and then I'm protecting it with the PVC, and that was just a bit of a struggle trying to string it through. It's no fun, but anyways, I got extra, so I'll cut that off. But okay, so that's in there, and these are in place, and just kind of logically thinking how it's all gonna flow with my 8 zones. So I have this one here. I've already got 3 zones hooked up to it there, just because I want to test out the electrics. And then this one's going to have zones here, and I positioned them just so that they kind of can get into here, and they'll have, you know, the wires and the tubes and everything to go this way and that. So far so good. And what I'll probably do is like what I did last year, my makeshift covers, cover that up so that way it is protected from weather and the sun, and you don't trip over stuff, you know. And also because there's a hole there, I'm going to cover that up too, so you know there's lots of creatures that would want to crawl in and do nasty stuff. So we're going to cover that hole, but I'm rapidly losing daylight, so yeah, it's you know, we might have to start early tomorrow morning, because I'll just show you some other things here on this table. Yeah, vegetables. I bought vegetables because I was at the Mike's nursery, and I was there, he was unloading. So I said, thank you very much, I will help myself, and start grabbing like a kid in a candy store. So yeah, I got to get those things in the ground this weekend. So I can't really do that until I get the water and irrigation tested and everything. So it was kind of one thing leads to the other. So before I can do that, we have to finish this, and then pray once we hook it up that the electrics work, right? That's always the biggest thing. You hook it up and the damn thing's working, you gotta look down there and re-screw stuff. Alright, so anyways, we will continue this project here, and so far we're making progress. It may not be till tomorrow morning that we pick it back up, because I'm awfully tired. And we'll talk about what we're doing more in the big picture, and we'll clean this mess up with the spider web of the tubes. Goodness gracious. Alright, talk to you later. Okay, so here we are continuing Sunday morning, because we worked all day Saturday to complete our project. So the thing that I've done now is to hook the Rachio inside the controller with the 3 bolts. I've gone ahead to string and wire in the valves here, and of course there is the power plug here with that plugs in behind here. Now, a few things to remember. One, get this already in place and plugged in before you put this on. Otherwise, you have to take it off. It won't. You'll be too late. So you got to put that in and let that dangle first. Now, the other thing too is, in the case that I have 2 easy valves, and I know that I labeled 1 1 and 1 2, and I know that what color is 1 2 3 4 in each of them. The thing is, I'm not sure which one. Is it 1 2 3 4 that's 1, or 5 6 7 8 that's 2, or vice versa? I didn't mark the cable as I was stringing it through. When I turn it on, I'll see which valve goes, and I'll know which Antelco is 1 2 3 4 and so forth. So yeah, do some markings and do some pre-work there, because if you forget, you'll be like, ah, I don't know which one it is. So anyways, the next step, of course, is to plug in the Rachio, and I got to get the app to get that going too, because it has to connect to your Wi-Fi. So let's pause and get that going next. Alright, so as you can see here, we have lights on the Rachio. It is connected, and just to give you an example of what it sounds like here, because it's like, do the zones start? So let's see if you can hear this amongst the wind and wind chimes. I'm going to do a quick run and you'll hear the zone. See if you can hear that. It's kind of a loud valve there. There's no water going through it. But okay, so we got electricity going between all the valves. So Rachio is up and running. So far so good. The next thing is finish connecting the current connecting points here on these, and then testing with real water, and leak checks and that kind of thing. So far so good, and on our way to other parts of the project.